guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. We are going to be doing an install tonight. What we're actually going to be installing is the new Cobb Coolant Overflow tank. So if we look over here in the engine bay, this tank right here is the coolant overflow. Any of the overflow just runs through this little line right here and it goes into this tank. It just sits there. It's just for, the extra coolant in case it overflows. It sits there and then it, if it needs to get back in, it'll suck it back in when needed. And then over here as well, this is the window washer fluid tube to fill up the window washer fluid tank. So both of these are actually getting replaced with the new kit. So this ugly white clear ugliness is going to go away along with this tube as well. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use my Renegade Motorsports white caps since the new Cobb kit comes with their own. The coolant overflow tank is going to go right here, and then there's going to be the tube for the window washer fluid right here. So it's going to put it in this little corner, clean it up, look really nice. This is going to open up a little bit and look a lot neater. I always hate these stock tanks in the engine bay. They always look really ugly, especially the power steering fluid tank. I hate that thing. Passport JDM has a really nice carbon fiber cover to go over that area. But I haven't picked one of those up. But for now, we're going to focus in this area, get it all cleaned up with the new Cobb kit. So this is what comes in the package. You obviously get the tank, which is a nice powder coated black. The welds are absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure what it's made out of. It has some nice weight to it. It's either aluminum or steel, but either way, it's very, very nice. Powder coated black. You can see the beautiful welds there. And over here are all the little accessories and everything you need to install. This is the hose that you're going to use to replace the stock line. This is the cap for the tank. And this cap right here is for the new tube for the window washer fluid tank. And then over here, the kit includes all the hardware and everything that you need. I am not going to be needing this right here. This is only for if you're running a front mount intercooler. So I'm not going to be needing that, but it comes with the kit. If you are running a front mount, you have the option to use that. This is actually a new product by Cobb. They were on back order for quite a while. I was actually really surprised that it came in so soon. I thought I was going to be waiting for a solid month, but just a couple days ago, it actually showed up at my door and I was pleasantly surprised because I wasn't expecting this for, like I said, another month. But it is absolutely beautiful. I'm really looking forward to getting this on. I am going to miss the Renegade Motorsport white caps, but I still have the others that I'm running as well. So let me set the camera up on the tripod so you can get a better angle, and then let's get started on this install. All right, so the first things that we're going to do, as I just explained, is make sure there's no coolant in this line. So we're just going to squeeze it just to make sure everything's empty, and then we're just going to pull the line out of the actual tank here. And we're going to set it aside. We're going to be replacing it with the new Cobb line. But yeah, we're just going to set that aside for now. And what I'm actually going to do is take a microfiber and just place it there just in case there's anything left in the line so it doesn't squirt everywhere and leave everything all covered in coolant. All right, so we got that moved over. Now we're simply just going to remove the tank. It's very straightforward. There's a little tab right here on the side. All we're going to do is push that in, and then it releases the tank, and then we can slide this out. Now I'm gonna have a little bit more trouble getting this out since I'm running the coil radiator, since it is bigger than stock. The stock radiator is a lot thinner, so you'll be able to take this out much easier. So it may take a little bit of manipulating to get this tank out for me, but let me go ahead and get this removed and then we'll go on to the next step. All right, so that wasn't bad. It came right out, but this is the stock tank. Super ugly, as you can see the coolant down there. You're obviously going to keep this. We're going to pour it into the new Cobb tank once we are finished with the install. So keep this upright, don't waste that. But look how ugly this thing is. It's dirty. It's not the prettiest looking thing. So we're gonna go ahead and set this aside, and we're going to next remove the window washer fluid tube right here. Okay, so to remove the window washer tube, I have a Titanium Works bolt right here. Normally it's just a plastic clip that you pop up and can remove. Mine is a T30, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that. And then all you do is simply just pick it up, it slides right out, and then we can go on to the next step. All right, so we got the washer fluid tube out. Now we're actually going to get started on the install of this kit. The first thing that you're going to do is take this thing. This is actually the little plug that you're going to put into the washer fluid tank. But first, as you notice, there's a little indent around here. We're simply going to remove the stock O-ring on the tube right there and place it on here. Then we're going to pop it right into the tank. Okay, so as you can see down there, that is the tank. All these wires in the way here, this is for my headlights. But we're just going to take this little plug and pop it right into that tank hole right there. As you can see, it's in. Make sure it's in there well. Make sure the top of the plug is, against the actual plastic of the tank. And you're set to move on to the next step. Next step is simply taking this silicone tube that says Cobb on it. This is going to be your new fill tube for the window washer fluid. We're simply just going to put this side onto that plug we just put into the tank. So let's go over to the car and take this tube and just put it right onto the new black plug there. All right, now that we got the tube installed, very straightforward. We're going to take the small Delrin cap with the little C on it and just put that into the tube. And we're done with the window washer fluid tube. We're going to start on the tank now. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually take this little aluminum bracket here and then take this little rubber grommet and we're going to fit it into this hole of the bracket. Okay, and that's what it should look like. This is what's actually going to hold the tank on to the actual frame of the car. So it's just like the intake, just pops right into this little pin right here, which is the next step that we're going to do. So the next step is we're going to use this hole that we used prior with the stock window washer fluid tube. So we're going to use that. If you notice, the kit comes with 2 bolts. Take the shorter one, which is in my right hand here. Then we're just going to take that bolt and slip it underneath, like that. And then we're going to take the little black pin and screw that on. All right, so we got everything done on the car. Now it's actually time to take the tank and put it in. As you see on the side right here, there's this little bracket. That is actually going to go right down here into that hole of the frame. And we're going to be using the supplied bolt right here, which is a 10 millimeter. So let's go ahead, get the tank in there and get it situated, and then we'll put that bolt in. So I got a little fancy with it. Since I'm not using the Titanium Works bolt right here, I decided to use it down on the bracket since it's the exact same size as the one that is provided. So it adds a nice little pop of color down there, which is really nice. I'm happy that worked. So now we're going to take the bracket that comes with the kit, bring it over to the car, and simply just line it up here. It's going to pop on that little pin that we installed. So push it through the little rubber. And then as you can see, the 2 little holes right there. We're going to use these screws provided with the kit. Of course, I wish I had these in titanium, so I might hit up my guy at Titanium Works and get these replaced with titanium. But for now, we're just going to use the ones supplied with the kit. Haha, I actually have a spare bag of Titanium Works bolts that I didn't end up using or I moved because I replaced something. And I actually had 2 of these, which is the exact same size as the little screws right here. They're a little bit longer, but they still fit. So I did a test fit over here on this one, and it works perfectly. So it adds a really nice contrast to the black, and it's going to look beautiful on that tank. So, man, that thing looks really good in there. All right, let me go ahead and throw this last one in, and then we can finish up this install. This is, I like this one. This is a fun one. So now we're going to install the new line. I'm simply just going to remove the stock hose from the little tube right here coming from the radiator. And then we're going to go over here and replace it with the Cobb one. Now this is a little bit longer than stock, so you're going to have to do a little bit of trimming. Basically, you want the end of this hose, you want to be a little bit above the bottom of the tank. So you don't want the hose slammed onto the bottom. You want it just hovering right above the bottom of the tank. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to first take this hose and push it through that little hole on the side of the tank right there. And then we're going to see how much we need to cut to run it to right over here. All right, so I got the hose. It's about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch above the bottom of the tank over here. And as you can see, this is the line that we're going to be removing. So I need to cut probably about 4 inches off or so. So let me go ahead, remove the stock line, and then I'll do my cut. All right, so I ended up cutting about this much off and then a little bit extra just to kind of make it a little bit more clean. So this is probably about, let's see, 3 inches with this little extra too. So I ended up trimming 3. So just for reference, it might be a little bit different for you, but it should be around the same. So the next thing that we're going to do is actually pour the coolant that's in the stock reservoir right into the new Cobb tank. And then we're going to put the little cap on and we'll be done. Last but not least, we're going to take the dowel ring cap that's provided with the kit and the O-ring as well. Put this around the top of the cap in the little notch, like so. And then we're going to go over to the new tank and place it right on. Make sure it's straight. And there we go. Install is complete. Really happy about the Titanium Works hardware that I was able to use down there as well as there. Came out really clean. I mean, look how much it cleaned up the entire engine bay here. There's no ugly white dirty tanks over here. I wasn't able to use any of the Renegade Motorsport caps. Like I said, I'm not selling these. I'm keeping these as my set. But it is a super, super clean piece. I mean, this thing is super high quality. They said if you're doing a full coolant flush or you're adding all new fluid into the car, make sure this is at least a third full. I just dumped whatever I had in the stock reservoir and the stock tank back into here. I spilled some since there was a little hole on the side and went down there, but it's no problem. It's not a big deal. Just make sure that the hose right here is just barely missing the bottom. I routed the line from here. I went underneath the line right here, so it's a little hidden. I didn't want it just placed up top. It was just kind of looking a little weird, but ran it under there. And yeah, really, really happy with this. And right here is, as I mentioned, is the washer fluid fill up. So you just pop that little cap off. You can put a little funnel in there and fill it up when you need it. But yeah, man, that looks so good. Really cleans up the engine bay. So if anybody is interested, I'm not sure what the lead time on them right now is. The site currently says 2 to 3 weeks. So if you are interested in picking one up, I definitely recommend it. Place your order because you can be like me as well. I placed my order maybe a week or 2 ago and it just came in. So you might get lucky and get one in sooner than you think. So, but yeah, that's it for this install. Super simple, very straightforward, cleans up the engine bay and it's definitely worth it. It's a Cobb product, which I'm a huge fan of. I have a lot of Cobb stuff on the car. I'm not biased or anything. I'm not sponsored. This is just something that I personally wanted just to clean up the engine bay because I love doing stuff up in this area to make it the best looking engine bay that I could possibly want in my STI. And this is definitely one of those pieces that needed to be in my car. So if you guys have any questions at all about the tank or anything else on the car, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you in the next one. Also, real quick, I ended up replacing this line as well. I had some extra Cobb hose for my bypass valve. I didn't end up using this line. So it's the exact same hose that comes with the tank. So I ended up just cutting the appropriate length for this one as well. So, you know, Cobb lines everywhere. It looks really clean. This is the stock line. So, you know, it's ugly and just faded and everything. So it's really nice that I got matching lines now. I just trimmed it off and looks really good, really clean.